Jews have been storytellers for over 3,000 years.
But what does Jewish storytelling look like today?
I'm Stephen Smith.
And I'm Heather Smith.
Welcome to Our Jewish Story, the podcast where we explore the traditions of Jewish narrative, why capturing contemporary stories matters now more than ever. We also share voices from the Our Jewish Story archive.
Real people, real stories, the full mosaic of Jewish life.
This is Our Jewish Story. So, let's get started. Today, I want to talk about something that's a lot on people's minds. Artificial intelligence, AI, and specifically how we use it at Our Jewish Story, because I think there's a lot of confusion out there, a lot of concern, and frankly, some of it very justified. So let's dig in. Let's start with the elephant in the room. We are living in a moment where AI can mimic human beings in ways we never anticipated. The clarity and fidelity of what's now possible, the human image, gestures, movement, intonation, voice, it's actually really remarkable and a little unsettling. It's now possible to replicate with a fair degree of accuracy the likeness of any individual, to determine what that individual will say, how they will look, how they will sound. You've probably seen the videos. Celebrities saying things they never said, politicians making statements they never made. The technology is getting better every day. And there's a movement emerging, well-intentioned I think, to use these tools for storytelling. That's to enable the recreation of individuals through AI. To let people have conversations with digital replicas of their loved ones or historical figures or anyone else for that matter. Now, of course, I do understand the appeal, I really do, but I want to explain why we have made a different choice at Our Jewish Story, and it comes down to something fundamental about what storytelling actually is as part of its essence. Here's the thing about stories. When a human being tells a story, they bring themselves to it. There's a specificity to that moment that can never be replicated. Who it's being told to, the context in which it's being told, the micro intonations, the body movements, the muscle movements, the facial expressions that happen in that instant and only that instant. The way I tell a story today will be different to the way that I tell the same story tomorrow. It's not just a combination of text and image and movement that you can then remix and regenerate. It's the giving of oneself through narrative, bringing oneself to the narrative. It's talking to listeners in taking them into a time and place and an emotion that only ever happens once and is not replicable. And this can only be captured on video. It's source data. It's the real thing, like I'm the real me right now. When you watch someone tell their story on video, you're watching something that actually happened in real life. That is a real person in a real moment of time, choosing their words, pausing where they pause, tearing up where they tear up, laughing when they laugh. And that is irreplaceable. The moment you use AI to generate or recreate that person, even with the best of intentions and however good it looks, you've lost something essential. You've created a simulation of a person rather than a record of that person. Now, I want to be precise here because there are actually three different modalities people are talking about when they discuss AI and human likeness, and they often get confused, and we need to make sure we are not confused about this. The first is deepfaking. This is the unauthorized use of someone's likeness to change what they said, imply something they didn't say, or distort their message. This is a deception, a manipulative use of the technology, which can also be flat out unethical and in some cases illegal. And we all agree this is bad. The second is what you might refer to as an authorized AI mimicry. This is where someone consents to have an AI version of themselves created, an avatar, a digital twin, if you will. It can look and sound remarkably like them and generate new content. This is sanctioned, it's authorized, and some people are excited about having their own avatar. I have to say, I like the avatar I created for myself. But here's the concern. Even with consent, you're still creating a piece of animated art that isn't real. That avatar of me couldn't do what I'm doing now. The AI version of me might say something I would say, but it wouldn't do it as I would do it, and it certainly won't say it in response to a question in that moment in time with those emotions. But how would you know the difference? So that's where we need to be careful. The third category is what we do at Our Jewish Story. We record videos supported by AI. It's real video with real people using a set of AI to help to collect it and make it accessible. But it's not the content itself. It's real stories told in that moment by that person, ungenerated and authentic. So let me be clear. Our Jewish Story does not use any form of generative AI to represent individuals who have a personal story to tell. What we're building is a video platform. It's closer to YouTube or Vimeo than to any of the other generative AI tools that you've been reading about. The stories are real, the people are real, the moments are real too. So if we're not using AI to create or alter content, you might ask, what are we using it for? Well, quite a lot actually. I'm going to walk you through it because I think this is where AI genuinely helps, not by replacing humans, but by supporting them. So let's start with the collection process. When someone wants to conduct an interview for Our Jewish Story, they may not be a professional interviewer. For example, they could be a volunteer or a family member or a community organizer. Of course, they want to capture a great story. They may not know exactly what questions to ask. They may never have done this before. So what we've done is built an AI interview scripting tool. It allows you to import a biography or a web page, a wiki page, or some notes about a person, a voice note even just describing in your own words who they are and what you want to focus on. Maybe the person teaches Midrash. Maybe they're a war veteran. Maybe they're a second-generation Holocaust survivor. The AI will take that information and generate a set of well-structured questions tailored for that individual. It starts, first of all, with our foundation of standard questions, the core things that we ask everyone, biographical information that establishes who that person is. Then it adds adaptive questions based on who this specific person is and their unique story. So an interviewer who does not have specialized knowledge in, say, second-generation trauma can still ask rigorous, thoughtful questions that allow for real depth. And then, during the interview itself, the AI transcribes what is being said, reads what the interviewer is saying, and then suggests follow-up questions in real time to the interviewer. The interviewer doesn't have to use these suggestions at all, but it's completely at their discretion. But it's like having a knowledgeable colleague whispering in your ear, hey, you might want to ask about that. Or that sounds interesting. You could go deeper there. The result is to get to more depth, more insight, not because the AI is telling the story, but because the AI is guiding the humans to explore that story better and deeper. Once the interview is recorded, it gets uploaded to our cloud. And then another set of AI tools kick in. Transcription, that's done by AI. It used to take hours to transcribe an hour-long interview. Now it just takes seconds. Translation, AI handles that too. Someone gives their interview in, say, Hebrew or Russian, Spanish, and we can generate accurate transcripts in multiple languages almost instantly. I have been sitting in on interviews not in my own language, watching the transcription in real time. It's like magic. Then there's keywording and indexing. That's AI again. The system analyzes what was said and tags it so it can be found later. If someone talks about Passover traditions or immigration to America or their grandmother's challah recipe, the AI notes that and then makes it searchable later. We also use AI for technical cleanup, improving audio quality, ensuring the video is crisp and viewable, small things that make a big difference in the user experience that you don't even know are there. But here's where it gets really interesting. On the user side, When someone comes to our Jewish story to explore, they might have one of 1,000 questions. What's it like to be a Jew in Argentina? What do Orthodox families do on Shabbat? What was it like to make Aliyah in the 1990s? How do converts feel about their journey? Whatever the question might be, the AI allows them to ask these questions in natural language, just like you'd ask a friend. And then it will go and find relevant responses from the archive. Now, here's the key to the system. It's set up a little imagine it like a cascade. You can ask a question of the entire archive. That's all of the interviews, all of the voices. Or you can narrow it down to a particular group. Maybe just Israeli interviews or just converts. Or you can go to a single interview and have a focused conversation with just one individual. So let's just say you ask, what's your favorite Jewish holiday? The system might return clips from a dozen different people talking about Hanukkah or Passover or Sukkot. You can explore that group of people talking about holidays and learn from multiple perspectives. Then maybe you find one person whose answer really resonates with you and you go deeper into their interview. You get off the subject of Passover and into other aspects of their Judaism. You ask follow-up questions. You learn more about their journey specifically. And then when you're done, you zoom back out to the global search and explore something else entirely. It's like having a stadium full of Jewish people. You can choose to sit next to any of them and learn about them before going on to the next. So the AI also gets to know you over time and what you're interested in. For example, if you keep exploring topics around spirituality, it'll start suggesting related content. If you're more interested in history or migration, it'll adapt. You're familiar with this from shopping sites and streaming services. Because you watch this, you might like that. But here it's in service of learning, of discovering Jewish stories that you might never have found otherwise. It's an algorithm, but it's your algorithm. Now, I mentioned earlier that we have an ethical AI policy, and I want to say a word or two about that. This matters to us a lot. The core commitment is simple. We will not use AI to change, manipulate, alter, or otherwise distort what anyone has said about their life or their story. Your story is your story. When you give it to us, we preserve it exactly as you told it. The AI helps us organize it, translate it, make it findable, but it never touches the content itself. What you see when you watch an interview is exactly what that person said and exactly the way they said it. In a world where trust in media is being eroded, where people don't know what's real anymore, this really matters. We want our Jewish story to be a place where you can trust that what you're seeing is authentic. Real people, real moments, real stories. Let me say a word about the future, because AI is still evolving very quickly. Right now, the system provides automatic subtitles, for example. So if you're watching an interview in Hebrew and you don't speak Hebrew, you can read along in English. That's live today. Sometimes the quality's a little patchy, but at least we know what it is and why we're using it. In the future, we anticipate offering lip sync translation as an option. This means someone who gave their interview in Russian could appear to be speaking English. Their lip movements match to an English audio track. Now, this is a form of AI generation, and so we're approaching it carefully. It will be opt-in at the discretion of the interviewing organization or interviewee, and we will be transparent about when it's being used on screen. There'll be a watermark for that. Conversational video AI is the technology behind all of this. Now, this is something that Heather and I have been working on for over 15 years. I can't believe that already. It's best known for the interactive Holocaust survivors you may have encountered in museums around the world that we did at USC Shoah Foundation. We understand both its possibilities and its limits, and we've worked with it for a long time and committed to using it responsibly. We did win the trust of Holocaust survivors, and we have served their stories with care, and we hope that you will trust us with your stories too. So let me bring all of this together. AI is a tool. Like any tool, it can be used well or used badly. It can be used to deceive people or to serve them. It can replace human authenticity, or it can amplify it. At Our Jewish Story, we've made a clear choice. AI is not there to retell the story, change the story, replicate the story, or twist it in any way. AI is there to enable the story to be told and help it reach the widest possible audience. The stories themselves, those are human, those are real, those are irreplaceable, those are yours. We use AI to help interviewers ask better questions. We use AI to transcribe and translate and index. We use AI to help users find what they're looking for. But the heart of what we're building, the video archive of Jewish voices, that's pure, it's authentic, it's something that no AI can generate. And that is precisely the point. In a world increasingly filled with synthetic content, with bots and avatars, we're building something different, a place where you can hear from real Jewish people in their own words, telling their own stories, no filters, no generation, no manipulation, just real voices, real humanity. That's Our Jewish Story. Thanks for listening. I'm Stephen Smith. If you have questions about how we use AI or anything else, you can find our policies and more information on our website at ourjewishstory.org. This is the Our Jewish Story podcast. My name is Stephen Smith. You know, there are many stories, but there is only one Jewish people.